Trash to Cash Podcast, episode 40. I'm Dave, the NC Picker. With me is Carrie, American Arbitrage, and Harold Tornado. Josh.
Tornado is in the house.
I didn't get the memo that we're supposed to put our YouTube name down in the description.
Yeah.
So mine just says Josh.
Either did Caleb.
Yeah.
Caleb
thing,
said Caleb.
You're at the point where you don't even care, man. I'm still trying to grind up to that 13K, bro. I still need to get some followers.
You'll get there. We'll get there.
I will.
Well, I don't think you're really going to get much exposure here, Carrie. So you might be wasting your time.
That's a good
You probably
point.
put whatever you want there. So we were talking about Golden Corral, and I figured we should get this show started because that is totally reseller related. Now, Carrie, tell the story about how you used to go into Golden Corral and bring a bunch of food home and sell it on eBay.
Oh, yeah. You'd be surprised. People love those biscuits that they have. They have those biscuits with the butter and stuff. Yeah. You just line your pockets with saran wrap. You could fit 4 to 8 per pocket. But, you know, if you're wearing Jinkos, you guys all remember Jinkos, right? You can fit a lot more biscuits in. So you want the Jinkos. And they actually used to have the Jinko vests. Do you guys remember those? You could put, I think they did. I don't know. And you could put biscuits in those. There's a lot of biscuits opportunities.
Here's the first question of the podcast. What is the difference between a biscuit and a roll? Because when I think of the Golden Corral items, I call those rolls. Those are definitely rolls.
That's a great question. I went to say roll, and for some reason I said biscuit. But yeah, it's rolls. I don't know.
Oh, well, okay. So Carrie's just wrong, Josh. That's
I think I was just wrong, but I doubled down on the biscuit because I didn't want to look like an idiot.
Yeah, well,
I'm glad that was avoided.
I used to like the little ice cream dispenser. You can go get whatever amount of ice cream you want. Whose phone keeps going off? Carrie, turn off your notifications. Is that you?
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Or is that Josh?
I didn't even. That's probably me.
Yeah, amateur Josh. This is his 40th show. It's almost a year of consistent shows. Hey, speaking of consistent shows, how's Triple Thrift doing?
I was gonna say we're probably around our 40th. You guys are probably like 35 uploads for the last 3 years.
So what causes that? I think because I like the Triple Thrift podcast.
Me too.
So what is who's the one who's screwing you over? Is it true? It's true, right?
No, it's really all of us. Joey. Like when Joey quit his job to resell, we were excited. So we could do podcasts like all the time now. We're definitely never gonna miss an upload. But it's just I think sometimes it's just like not having good stuff to talk about. Like there's been 2 or 3 episodes that we record and didn't upload just because it's like we ended up just talking about weird stuff and I'm like, I can't put this out. People will go after it, or just like boring stuff. I'm like, nobody's gonna listen to an hour and 20 minutes of this, you know.
Well, hold on. Boring works, okay? Yeah. We're doing fine.
That's true. You just gotta
weird is working for us too. I don't know.
Throw an occasional poop joke and you're gonna be good, man. You just throw those in, spatter them in.
Splatter.
We could be the number one trash-related podcast on Spotify.
Yeah, if we can get rid of those dang national trash podcasters, those guys are ridiculous. They're number one right now.
With their trash repair.
Exactly. Okay. I'm tired of it.
Well, that makes sense. So, I mean, me and Carrie, we just say, okay, no matter what, we're going to come on at 9:30 Sunday night, and we're going to record whatever's in our brain. And it works out. It works out, but I get it. It's also hard with Kevin because it's past his bedtime. Mm-hmm. He has to go to the old folks' home, and he's got to do all that stuff there. Speaking of that, one of the big reasons to have Josh on is to prove to the whole community that Josh can get more views than Kevin, right, Josh?
I'm going to try really hard. About Kevin, I know it's a joke on this podcast about how old he is, and it actually... It affected me because I was beginning to think that Kevin was like 50. but didn't he say in the last podcast he's like 36 or something?
No. Carrie, no. So I'm 37, Carrie's 38, and then Kevin's 406.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I got it.
Well, I don't know. Kevin's some unknown age.
It was wearing me down. I was like, man, I guess Kevin really is old. Maybe he's not that old.
He's in between 40 and 50, and he was born sometime in the 70s. That's the only hints we're allowed to give legally without hearing from his representation.
Got it.
At least that's what he tells people. We think he's cutting off at least 10 years. That's our thought.
Yeah, it's hard to get all his references. He talks a lot about stuff from the 70s, like H.R. Puffin stuff. I don't know what that is.
Charlie Chaplin?
Charlie Chaplin. He does a lot of Buster Keaton jokes, which I don't understand.
They go right over my head.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so Kevin's old. That's the moral of the story. Josh, let's jump right into it. I don't know if you had anything to add on all our nonsense about this TJ Maxx thing.
I do have to say this. If you mention him in 2 podcasts, if you mention Josh in 2 podcasts, by the 3rd one, he'll appear magically on your show.
Oh yeah.
So he's like a genie. And so yeah, I wanted to know if you had anything to say about your TJ Maxx thing. We've talked about it at length. Carrie says it's fine. I kind of say it's fine. Kevin says it's really naughty. What do you think? He's really old, though.
I will say I saw the podcast, saw the thumbnail, and I scrolled through the entire. I listened to the first like 15 minutes, and then I 10 seconds fast forwarded through the whole thing, and then I never heard it at all. So
you missed
I guess I don't know. I don't know what was said, but I understand it from both perspectives. Like I understand the people that got upset about it. I just I think as long as the item truly did come from TJ Maxx, like no matter who buys it, I think you can return it. It's fine. It would be bad if I got an item at the bins and then found like a TJ Maxx tag sitting in the bin and then like put that tag on that item, then returned it, because that would be returning an item that was not from TJ Maxx. Yeah. So I think as long as it's a true item that came from TJ Maxx, it's fine. It's I said on YouTube, it's the equivalent of like returning a gift that someone bought you that you don't want. Like you didn't actually buy it, but it came from TJ Maxx, and they're not losing money, and they're getting an item back. And somebody was like, "Well, they can't sell that item again." I'm like, "Well, they could." Yeah, I don't know what their policy is. It was a fine item. There wasn't anything wrong with it.
Carrie said, "Screw all corporations." Josh should have actually stolen from them while he was there on top of it.
I think that's what I felt like. I think that's what Josh was saying, but he has a lot more to lose than me. So I'm just going to say what I think Josh wants me to say, which is, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not saying, I think I said that a little bit, but realistically, the truth is I don't feel sorry for TJ Maxx because they're getting a product back that they can resell or they can write off. So it's really no loss for them. And it is authentically their item. So I don't think it's an issue.
And that was my concern is more that it's authentically their item versus they're a big corporation. Because like I do agree with Kevin, like just because a corporation is big doesn't mean that you shouldn't do bad things to them. Like people that steal stuff from Walmart and they're like, it's Walmart, they can handle it. I'm like, well, yeah, but you're just causing the prices to go up for everybody else. There's a big difference between like outright theft and just returning an item that you didn't buy, in my opinion. But of course, when you're on YouTube, everyone has different opinions.
Yeah, well, you're always wrong.
Well, always. I'm coming from the TikTok world that has even less nuance than YouTube. I can't explain anything other than just a short video and hope they pay attention, and then they come up with 70 wild conclusions about what I actually mean and what I'm actually doing. So nuance is tough.
I guarantee you that you could make a video, like a joke video. Sorry, I'm gonna stop touching the table so much. I realize it's shaking.
I'm kind of liking it. It's like
you can make a joke video of actually stealing stuff from TJ Maxx. Just go to like San Francisco or something where they don't care. Just steal a bunch of stuff and then make a TikTok about how you're going to sell it. And then when people say that's wrong, be like, "Hey, it's TJ Maxx. Like I'm trying to feed my family. Are you saying I shouldn't feed my family?" I guarantee you there will be people that support you.
There would be people that were against you too as well. And I'm not saying go steal from TJ Maxx. I'm just saying if I don't mind. I've actually never done it myself, but I used to back in the day. My buddy and me would go to Ross all the time. We went to Ross, and he was always returning stuff if it didn't sell. I don't know if you guys knew you could do that. I never did it, and I felt like that was kind of a brilliant idea that he had.
Well, for retail arbitrage, you mean?
For retail arbitrage,
yeah. I used to do that all the time.
But I've never done it. I've never done it myself, and probably wouldn't do it. But I don't. Yeah, I think as long as it comes from TJ Maxx, I think it's fine.
It seems like that's much less controversial than what I did, but from TJ Maxx's or Ross's standpoint, it's exactly the same. Like they're still getting an item returned that they don't care who bought it. It doesn't like who bought the item has no effect to them. They're just getting an item back, and then it's their policy or whatever that they do or don't resell it. So I think me doing one $16 item that I happen to found is much less impactful than somebody that goes and buys 70 different things from Ross and then they don't sell on eBay and then they return 60 of them. Yeah.
Well, so in the same vein, basically the week before this happened on your channel, my mom came to me with some stove line and said, "Hey, Dave, I bought you this to resell. It was $1 at a yard sale." And I said, "Mom, why don't you just return it? It's brand new from Walmart. It's got the Walmart tag. I don't really want to resell it. Why don't you just take it back?" And she's like, "Okay." And, we kind of dropped it, but I was like, well, that's just like what Josh did, except I told my mom to do it, right? And I was yard sailing with her yesterday, and I was like, "Did you ever return that thing to Walmart?" She's like, "Yeah, I got a $16 gift card." I was like, "Oh, okay. What'd you do with the gift card?" She's like, "I bought stuff at Walmart." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, look at that. It's magical." And they probably will resell it. I don't know why someone's saying TJ Maxx definitely won't resell it. Is that a TJ Maxx policy?
I don't know. You know, I feel like there should be some guidelines in that about what, because like I don't really like the idea of somebody returning something and then they just put it right back on the shelf because somebody could have I don't know, done something weird to it, you know. Maybe at least a visual inspection, a good solid visual inspection. But if something's like brand new with tags, no obvious stains, no smells or anything like that, or something new in the box, I don't see why they couldn't just put it back on the shelf.
Well, unfortunately, my mom took it one step too far. We're at a yard sale later that day. She walks up to me with something with a Walmart tag. She's like, Dave, it's from Walmart. I'm like, yeah, it's not really worth selling on eBay. She's like, yeah, we'll just return it. I'm like, no, Mom, this is not our new way to source. Like, we're not just going to buy everything and
Dave
return it
created
to
a
Walmart.
monster. You created a monster, man.
I actually do know a girl. I'm not going to say her name, but she does that. If she's at the thrift store or something and she finds something new with tags from a store that she knows she can return it to, she always buys it and returns it.
Blue Ridge Mama, you mean, right?
Yeah.
This is an open place. Nobody's going to see this, so don't worry about it. Just say what you want to say.
Just edit that part out.
Yeah, edit it out.
Edit it out.
We definitely don't want people to say, no, we just said Blue Ridge Mama.
Don't say it again. Kevin probably didn't hear it the first time. We said it pretty quiet, and he doesn't have his hearing aids on. So, where's Kevin? This is what people want to know. Okay, so Kevin is celebrating his wife's birthday tonight, Blue Ridge Mama. Yeah. So that's, all the personal information we'll give you about him. But yeah.
He's not, you should understand he's not serious about the podcast because...
Clearly he thinks his wife is more important.
No, but he could have went on a Monday or a Saturday. I mean, they could have celebrated the birthday.
It's actually Haley's birthday today as well, and I'm
there
passing
we go.
her over.
See, and it's Tina's birthday too. So pretty much
Dawn had a birthday in February. I didn't do nothing then. It had nothing to do with the podcast. But we had a pod, I'm just a bad dude. But if there was a podcast, I would have told her no. We're going to do the podcast. FYI.
I appreciate that. I appreciate your loyalty, Carrie. Unlike Kevin.
I will say it's just to clarify, so people don't think I'm mean. It's not Haley's birthday.
Dude, you have to be so careful, Josh. I don't envy you at all. And also, guys. There is a drinking game going on for every time I call Josh Harry or Harold tonight, or today or morning. This comes out in the morning, right? I'm never up when it comes out.
In la mañana.
Yeah, in the morning. Just take a drink of whatever. It could be water. It could be Propel. No calories. But
it could be Baja Blast. Speaking of Baja Blast, we are going to do a Trash to Cash meetup. Josh, are you going to the 127 sale or no?
No. I don't like those big yard sales.
Yeah, no, me either. But I'm going anyways because Kevin's making me. So hopefully it's good. He says that I do them wrong. He says there's like a secret that I don't know that actually makes them great.
Okay.
But when I went, I absolutely hated it. It was all vendors and flea market booths and stuff like that were overpriced. And
it's either
a bunch of jerk resellers like me.
It's either overpriced stuff in like little groups, or when you get to the good stuff, you end up just staying on the road and following the same resellers. So then you have to make a choice like, am I going to stay at this sale and dig longer than this reseller, or leave early and get to the next sale before this guy? Because he's been following me for the last 3 hours.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all. I've been to 3, and we've never found anything good.
Okay. Well, I found a rainbow vacuum at one. The full rainbow vacuum with all the hoses. I got it for $10. So that was a solid find, but that was about all I got that day. Carrie, have you ever even done one?
I've never done one with a bunch of resellers. No, I've never. They've had community sales and stuff here, and like citywide sales, but I've never been to like one of these. What does 127 stand for? The road or the highway or the miles?
I think it's the road.
I've only been to Tennessee once. I drove through Nashville and I got super into country music for like 24 hours. It was a new me. It was awesome. So I think I'm going to be into country music. So you guys are going to have to deal with that.
Like Luke Bryan country or Alan Jackson?
This was 20 years ago, so it was like
Alan
George
Jackson,
Strait and
George
Alan
Strait.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my wife says that's the only country, so you landed correctly. Okay, so we're gonna do an event for those of you who don't hate the 127. Josh, obviously you're excluded from this. We're gonna do a barbecue bash with Trash to Cash. Okay, it rhymes. Yeah. I spent a really long time thinking about that.
That's nice. That's actually pretty good. I like it.
Thanks, yeah. I actually will accept any form of crypto payment if you want to pay me for the joy it brought you, Carrie.
Oh, no, it's good. It's it's awesome. I'm excited, man. There's going to be barbecue there, if you didn't catch it.
There's going to be barbecue of some sort. I'm not sure if it's like ribs or sandwiches or whatever it is, but it's free to you.
Whatever's at the dollar store that morning.
Whatever they've got at Dollar General freezer section, we're going to grab it. But see, here's the thing. It's not just the normal Dollar General sandwiches. We're going to put real American cheese on it, like the stuff that comes in individually packed, the orange stuff. Yeah. We're going to put that on top of the Dollar General sandwich. and it's really going to take it up to the next level.
On top of the plastic before we heat it up.
Yeah, I've always really enjoyed barbecue sandwiches with cheese. That's like such a classic addition to a old-fashioned barbecue sandwich.
100%. 100%. Velveeta, especially.
Dave's a chef. I don't know if you've watched Dave's cooking channel, but he's a bit of a chef.
I haven't. I've heard Dave pitching it a lot. He's really trying to.
It's obsessive.
I'm pushing it hard. I'm pushing it hard.
He's pushing it. It's, I'd give it some time to get good, but yeah, check it out at some point.
I'm like 900 hours away from monetization on it. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm looking forward to the $1 a month I'm going to be earning. It's almost enough to offset the food costs.
You just got to get a sponsorship from like HelloFresh.
Yeah.
Like, hey guys, if you can't cook like me, just get HelloFresh. It's super easy.
That's actually perfect.
They break it down for you.
Get Swanson Hungry Man TV dinners. That would be awesome.
That really does go well with the theme, because most of it is about how I'm not that great at cooking, but, just struggling through the cooking process. So
yeah.
Anyways, the Trash to Cash Barbecue Bash is going to be free. I'm going to put a link probably on the Trash to Cash Instagram tomorrow, I guess. So anyone who's already following that might already have signed up.
I can do that, so I actually do something. That's probably good.
That's like the one thing you're going to do this year? Thanks, buddy.
Yes.
You've almost earned your keep. But no, this thing's going to be cool. It's going to be in, I want to tell them at least the city. Crossville, Tennessee, guys. So if you're, it's multi-state. So if you're up in Kentucky, this probably isn't relevant to you. But if you're going to be in Tennessee, Crossville, Kevin's going to be there, Carrie's going to be there, and I'm going to be there. So, and Dawn will be there, right?
Yeah, Dawn's going to be there in person, guys. We're not going to do any of that hologram stuff. We don't have the technology or the money yet.
No, the money is the real problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll be there. If you want to meet us, I don't know why. Just come by and, no guns, no shooting Carrie.
I am going to be the tallest. I am the tallest. So
that is actually true.
I thought you were about to say, I am going to have guns, but you can't.
Yeah, Carrie can have guns. Carrie can bring guns.
I will be carrying. Yeah, open carry, but...
Dude, I want to find some super soakers so bad. I found one up in North Carolina, but it didn't work. And it was the mega one, like the biggest one they made, and it sells for like hundreds of dollars. But it leaked every time I filled it. I want to get a real one and shoot Kevin with it when we get up to the thing.
Walmart has them, Target has them.
But good one, dude. No. The old school like super soakers were like they'd blow your skin off. They were awesome.
They just randomly catch fire for no reason.
Yeah, they were excellent.
These water guns that are like super high powered. I think David Dobrik talked about it in one of his vlogs. But it's like they're expensive. They're like $2,000. You just like put it in water and it like sucks up water and it has like a charge. And you shoot it and it's like a gun. Like it's like one burst of water. And it'll like bruise you if you get too close.
See, so that's like the super soaker of the future. Yeah,
like buy it for video, so it'll be a tax write-off.
Everybody, if you come to the thing, bring some super soakers. We're gonna provide the jarts. We're gonna have a lot of jarts.
So we're gonna play competitive jarts the whole time.
We are. We're just gonna throw them and see where they go.
Some people might not know what those are, but you'll have to look them up. You're not allowed to sell them on eBay. That's why we have so many.
And technically, I don't think you're allowed to use them. But
well, I mean, it's fine.
It's trash to cash. Nobody cares.
But yeah, it is a BYOB event. Bring your own Baja Blast. We're not going to have any Baja Blast on tap or anything else, really. So if you want to drink anything other than water, Kevin said it's a dry event, unless you bring stuff. But you're allowed to bring stuff. So anyways, we'll share the details on our Instagram, guys. If you are going to be there, check it out. Come hang out. For free. And Kevin told me he got sponsors. Do you know the list?
It's My Reseller Genie. That's all I know.
All I know is that we're still paying the majority, but we are thankful for the sponsors. My Reseller Genie, and no, it's one more. It's Yardaroo. Yardaroo is number 2. Yep. Yeah. Nice. So thank you them, and also thank you to there's someone I'm supposed to put on the logo. Someone who's actually
American
setting it up
Bubble Boy sponsors the podcast, so we probably should mention them.
Bubbles, Bubbles. Wear bubbles, eat bubbles, whatever you want to do with bubbles.
Yeah, just go online. You can find them. Just Google it.
All right, Josh, so what's your worst scenario, like at a yard sale where you pooped your pants? Let's just hear your best yard sale pooping your pants story.
Man, there's so many. So there's this one sale. I bought a large, it's just like almost like a half pallet of chicken eggs. She's selling it for like 10 cents each, so I had the whole pallet. And right as I lifted the pallet of chicken eggs, I got I got the overwhelming feeling that I was about to poop my pants. And that's just not something you want to hold in your hand when you do that. So I kind of, waddled back to the car, and as I set the eggs down, that's when it happened. So I didn't lose any eggs, but did lose that.
It could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah,
it doesn't sound like it could have gotten a lot worse. Actually, that was
if the eggs had fallen, and landed upon him, and then he pooped his pants and it came out his shorts, it could have gotten much worse.
You got to eat one of those raw eggs to settle your stomach down. Is probably what you should have done right after, immediately.
Yeah,
the salmonella will help you forget about the poop.
Do you know we had a mini farm growing up at my house? So we had like a little farm in our backyard. We had goats, we had geese, ducks, chickens, and I do feel like it was the whole reason my family had this was to numb me to death just completely, because every morning I'd go down, there'd be a dead chicken, blood everywhere from the fox or the raccoon that killed it. There'd be the sheep we had died 2 days after we got it because apparently we have a poison bush in our backyard. All that to say, I used to have to go get the eggs every morning, and they're almost always covered in poop.
From the sheep, the sheep don't have
from the chicken, from the chickens. There was like 50 chickens. There was a lot of chickens, and we'd collect the chicken eggs. But here's the thing: we also let them breed, right? So we'd get little chicks out there, and sometimes we'd bring them up and put them in an incubator, I think it's called, and the little chickens would hatch, kind of like Jurassic Park, except no velociraptors ever. I kept waiting, but all these chickens would hatch, and I remember the most horrifying moment of my life was when I went to go cook an egg, and I crack the egg, and I open it, and a baby chicken, not fully formed baby chicken, goes into the frying pan, all bloody and gross. I'm just like, oh, I hate eggs.
It almost ruined the eggs, man.
Josh is nodding like this has happened in his life, too.
Yeah. Well, it just, blurs the line. Like, one time on Instagram, I asked my followers, is eggs meat?
True.
And it was like 50-50. It's protein, but is it meat? And I think
if you wait long enough, it's meat.
If you wait long enough, yeah. And I think at the point that you just described, that's when it becomes meat. When you can see the eyes, I think that's meat.
You can see a lot more. You can see basically a dead chicken in there. It was like a fully formed dead chicken covered in blood. The eyes were there. I still ate it, but it was the worst egg I'd ever had.
Yeah, I think this should be the.
I would hope so.
This should be the short or something you do before the episode, so people are totally confused on what the heck we're talking about in this podcast.
I'm just so glad that was the worst egg you've ever had. I can't imagine you saying you ate that and you're like, and it wasn't even the worst I've ever had.
It wasn't even the worst one. I've had a much worse egg. So we used to sell the chicken. This all comes back to reselling, because we used to sell the chicken eggs to people in the neighborhood. We charge them like $1 for a dozen of eggs. Definitely we're going to get rich that way.
That's a steal, dude.
Well, it was the 80s, dude. It was a different time, right? It was a different
$1
time.
was like 15 back then.
Yeah, and back then it was like a trade. Like, here's some eggs, don't abduct my kid. That's just how it went back then. Like,
that's the 80s right there, dude. Yep. I don't want to be on Unsolved Mysteries or anything.
Yeah, and Rescue 911. Like, we want to avoid all these shows.
Exactly. I miss Rescue 911, by the way. That was a great show.
Dude, I still was so scarred. There was an episode where some kid was brushing his teeth and he fell down. Toothbrush got lodged in his throat, and Rescue 911 had to come try to get it out of his throat, but it was like a fish hook, because it was it has the little bristles on the end.
Yeah.
It was pretty disturbing. I've never brushed my teeth since.
New fear unlocked. Thank you.
I've actually thought about inventing an edible toothbrush for this exact scenario, and I think at least that guy would appreciate it.
I think so too. Are you like an inventor, Josh? Have you ever wanted to invent something?
Yeah, sometimes. I've never actually invented things, but I think of things all the time. Actually, in 2008, I came up with the idea for a company called Shopper Hopper that would do grocery delivery for you. 2008.
Oh, maybe you should capitalize on that one, buddy.
Maybe I should.
That sucks.
Merch it out. Reseller, YouTuber, inventor. That's merch right there.
Definitely hasn't been done. I mean, you would have been first.
I would have,
but you weren't.
It's really, I like to think of how many good ideas are out there just floating around, and people just don't have the motivation or capital to bring them to life.
Yeah, exactly. Like how you'd have to hire an app developer and then honestly, gig work wasn't even really a thing in 2008.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if you would have conceived the gig work side of it or not.
It wasn't. I was recording an album. I used to do music. I was recording an album in 2010, 2011, something like that. And to do the album art, I had one friend who did graphic design, and he didn't want to do it. and I had to go to like Craigslist to find someone. There wasn't Fiverr, there wasn't Upwork or anything like that.
Okay, so what's the band's name? We got to find this.
Yeah.
It was just me, Josh Varnell. The album was called No Way Down because I thought that was
Is it on Spotify?
Yeah.
No, we didn't have Spotify.
Well, put it on now.
It's on
Dude,
YouTube.
I had a band too back in the day.
Song.
Did you know that, Dave? Did you know that?
You know what?
He has no beard. Sorry.
Yeah, I was working at Chick-fil-A at the time. So that wasn't good.
That's where the best bands are born. Chick-fil-A
They are,
or like
yeah.
Taco Bell.
Yeah, it's like
Actually,
my pleasure. Sorry, go.
I met Haley working at Chick-fil-A, and she loves when I tell the story. But I also met my previous 2 girlfriends working at Chick-fil-A. So the last 3 romances of my life have come from Chick-fil-A.
Wow, dude. Not bad.
Yeah, it's a great
My
place
wife. So my wife used to work at Chick-fil-A. Did Dawn ever work at Chick-fil-A?
No, she was she used to be a plumber, and then she was a welder. So the same thing, same diff.
Same idea. As long as it all comes back to chickens, dead bodies. Yeah. That's all that really matters.
Dawn has actually never worked in fast food. I have literally worked at every fast food restaurant in the on the West Coast, and I've been fired for most of them.
What's the worst fast food restaurant you've worked at?
Oh, Burger King, the BK Lounge by far. Yeah, the BK Lounge is just a.
Hold on.
Basically, it's like they had a restroom, but they decided to make that the whole kitchen. If that makes sense, the whole vibe of the restroom, but it's the kitchen.
Well, so that was my question: is BK Lounge the worst because the food's the worst, the people are the worst, or it's just filthy?
They were actually okay.
What's the dirtiest? What's the dirtiest?
Ah, gosh, maybe Taco Bell, probably.
No, that's where Baja Blast was born.
Well, yeah, you're not. Yeah, you got other things to worry about at Taco Bell, not the Baja Blast. It's the beans that have been there for 4 days that are just barely heated. That's what you got to worry about, because I don't even know if they're beans technically.
This morning I made baked beans. So for breakfast I had baked beans, cupcakes, and mozzarella sticks.
Me too. That's exactly what I had.
It's a reseller diet right there.
Yeah. It's just like, that's what I wanted, so I had it. You know?
Did you just pick randomly 3 things with your eyes closed? And then just
well, I cooked them all from scratch, too. All of them from complete scratch. And I also made YouTube videos while I cooked them. So I was actually making content, and I just happened to have to test all the things I made. And by the time I was done, I was full. You know? It's kind of one of those... See, Josh, that's the whole second part of the cooking channel. I'm writing off food at this point. I mean, now we're really winning at life. If only I could write off.
Do you remember like last summer when I was like playing golf every morning? So I had asked my accountant. I was like, if I make a second YouTube channel, just like a golf vlog channel, and I don't make any money with it because it probably won't ever be monetized. I just like vlog my golf. Would that be a business expense? He was like, yeah. I mean, you're in the pursuit of business. You don't have to be profitable to write stuff off. There's businesses that lose money all the time. But I just felt weird about it. I don't know. So I didn't
don't feel weird about it at all.
You could do you should do the Frisbee Golf channel. Are there any of those on YouTube?
I'm sure there are. Yeah. This guy messaged me on Instagram a couple days ago and said that he's a pro disc golf player. And he's like, if I ever have a tournament in South Carolina, I'd love for you to come caddy for me. I'm like, oh, man, I'd love to.
Wait, isn't caddying just carrying around his discs? I don't really know anything about that game.
I hope there's nothing else involved in that.
You're just like following him around. Like, I love that he called you and like he had the guts
like
to say, yo, I would you like you to come serve me at my event? Are you interested?
Yeah.
That's like Carrie. He's coming down to Florida, and he's going to be doing all types of chores the whole time he's down here.
I'm going to be moving the ladder. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah, for my Flipper video. That's a good idea. We should have you just do some really obscure task and say nothing the whole video.
Don't ever have me say anything and just have me, like, in the corner, just barely visible in the corner, just like staring. I'm telling you.
And you could just, like, laugh at me sometimes?
I'm just going to do deadpan the whole time. Don't ever mention it. I think that's the key.
So I saw on Instagram, Drew, I don't know if you saw this, Carrie, but Profit Monsters did a yard sale, and he was hiding super valuable items at his yard sale. And he's only like an hour and a half away from me, so there was some pretty heavy temptation to drive on over there to Orlando.
That was good stuff.
Yeah, dude, did you see that, Carrie?
Oh, yeah, I saw. I think one of them was that Grateful Dead salt and pepper shakers or something like that.
Yeah, under the table. I wouldn't have even known those, though. I didn't even know those had value. Did you?
I just thought they were like drugged out gummy bears. You guys remember that cartoon? That's what they kind of look like.
No, I don't remember that.
You don't remember the gummy bears, man?
No.
Dancing here and there and everywhere?
Not the drugged out ones.
Well, I remember that one, it was like one of the first YouTube videos I ever watched, and it was like the gummy bear, like like running and dancing along, and he steps
I'm
in
a
a bear
gummy
trap
bear.
and then just starts cussing for like a minute, but it's all bleeped out.
I think I missed that.
I don't remember
one.
that one. I remember the unicorn or whatever, where they would steal their liver, the liver from the unicorn. Do you remember that one?
Charlie,
yeah, Charlie, the unicorn. Yeah, that one.
We're on a bridge, Charlie.
I don't think I know that one either. You guys had a different
know that
YouTube, alternate timelines. We had Charlie bit my finger.
This is how Kevin feels like when he's talking about the 40s or whatever.
Yeah,
exactly.
Carrie, could you add a pop of purple to your shot? Just some pop of purple somewhere. You're all wrong for this show.
I didn't.
Do you have like a
purple
purple shirt?
I didn't realize we were doing this show from like the Star Trek like Enterprise or whatever the heck this is.
That was right. That was a real thing. You did a good job there.
Yeah.
I did. I tried to.
Oh, sorry. What did you think of Thor? You made me think of Thor by saying that.
Oh,
you saw it last night.
I haven't seen it, so no spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers. Thor's in it. Is that okay? Thor is in it. It's I didn't love it. It was okay. It was entertaining.
Did you love Ragnarok?
I didn't see Ragnarok, so that probably would have been important. But here's the thing. All the jokes, I'll say this, all the jokes, like, you know that this is such a big budget movie that all the jokes had to have gone through 50 approvals before they even made it to the movie, and that's what it felt like. Like, it's like, that might have been funny the first time it was said in an organic way, but it's gone through, it's so processed, it's like grade F Taco Bell meat at this point.
Yeah.
It's not even technically meat anymore.
Not even technically dog food at this point. It's just whatever.
That whole idea of like corporate approval, that's how I feel sometimes when I do like sponsors on the YouTube video. Do you guys do sponsors?
We did until they signed you up, and now we don't get any anymore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Small screen is
Small screen, yeah. Dude, I just accepted that long ago when I was like the first reseller on YouTube to start doing sponsor stuff. I'm like, why is nobody doing this? Like, especially
I remember you saying
like actually like.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I started doing it. I was like, whatever, that's fine. But sometimes they're like really chill. They're just like, I'm doing one for a company called Established Titles now, and they like sell you 1 square foot of land in Scotland so you can officially become a lord or a lady. And it's like 38. It's like $38, and they're like, just promote it.
I want to be a lord.
Just do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Like it was great. I love stuff like that. And other companies will be like, you can do whatever you want, full creativity. It'll need to be 60 seconds long, and you'll need to read these 3 paragraphs. But outside of that, you can do whatever you want. I'm like, well, by the time I read the 3 paragraphs, it's already 80 seconds long, so there's no room for me to be creative.
You just gotta know what you do, Josh, is you record it and then you do 500x speed on that little segment, and then you do what you want.
Yeah. It's just crazy that these companies will spend so much money on ads, and I'm like, I'll tell you right now, this is not going to convert for you guys. Like, people are going to know that this is scripted, and they're like, we don't care. We just want you to say it. I'm like, okay, you pay me the money, and I'll say it.
Yeah, they can be tough. I mean, I've done quite a few. I think all of us probably did Flip at one point, but for the most part,
he's got it listed perfectly, right?
Oh yeah, my bad.
I will say that Flip offered me a lot of money though.
List perfectly. It's a great place. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on your toes there, but yeah, no, we've done some, and I even did one for eBay, which blows my mind that I did one for eBay after starting, just rambling in front of my phone doing TikToks, and then they wanted to do a video with me, so it was interesting, but. You are the guy that's really setting the standard for a lot of that stuff. I think it's normal in most mediums beyond reselling. Honestly,
we are very lucky in reselling to be able to make actually some decent money from YouTube AdSense. Whereas I'd say 90% of YouTube creators on the platform are not making enough from YouTube alone to support a full-time career. So they have to do sponsors. Like I watched this one girl, she was like a lifestyle vlog channel, and she just made like makeup videos and stuff. I looked at her channel, I think she had 400,000 or 500,000 subscribers. She was getting like 80 to 150,000 views a video, something like that, posting one a week. And she was making like 40 grand a month just from sponsors. Whereas on YouTube for like 5 million views a month, she was making maybe like 10 grand. So I'm like, that's pretty significant there.
Wow.
So I do vet the companies we work with. Like I probably say no to 85-90% of offers. But if it's a good company, especially one that I already use, I'm like, why would you not do that?
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, generally for me, I'll do a sponsored bit for just a potato sack. Like a sack that has to be full of potatoes or I'm not doing it. But
I
the
remember
sack itself
you,
has
you
some
called me
value.
one time. You're like, hey, I've got an ad spot from Mercari. Do you think I should do it? I was like, do you like Mercari? And you're like, I was like, yeah, you should do it.
I've at least used it. I had at least
Yeah.
used it, and so I did that. And actually, Josh told me to ask for more money, and it worked. So I will give credit to Josh where credit is due. Carrie was telling me, tell him $20, and I'm like, well, Carrie, that seems like a lot. But let me see what Josh says. Yeah.
You gotta think these companies have huge marketing budgets, and you have to think about how much it costs to advertise in other places. Like say you want to put a banner, a trash to cash banner at like a D1 college football game for one game, just like in the behind the field goal post. That's probably like $10,000. And if everybody there is full stadium, it's probably like 80,000 people. And how many of those people are actually going to look at your banner? And then it's just a stagnant image, you know? Whereas on YouTube, if it's a video viewed by 80,000 people, which is about what we are now, and they actually listen to me, some of them might skip, but they at least hear the first part of it when I say the company name, which is effectively the same as putting a sign in the stadium. The turnover rate the retention and all that stuff is much greater. It's
a way better bang for your buck. It's the same thing in my day job. We go to trade shows. It's a pretty niche market, and they charge $25,000 for a banner on a building for 3 days, $25,000, and we've paid for it. And I'm just like, what? Okay. Someone give me $25,000 and I'll put a banner on my house right now. Whatever you want on there. I'll give you 3 weeks with that price.
That really is the thing that I think a lot of creators don't think about it, especially in the reselling space, is you're not necessarily, I know this is the case with TikTok, you're not making any money off the creator fund. You might make some money off some of the other funds with other sites at the moment, but the real money is with the advertisement, the long-term plays. I mean, we want to talk inside baseball like we are, but I mean, I think there's a lot of opportunity for growth there. And you're right, it's a video billboard is basically what it is. It's like one of those blips, but it's more than 8 seconds and worth it.
Because you got to think, what people don't realize is companies are already paying YouTube to run ads, and generally, like, we get paid like half. So if we get a penny per view, well, I get like you guys are probably operating like a 10% RPM or $10 RPM. So $10 for every 1,000 views. That means these companies are probably paying $20 for every 1,000 views, or 2 cents per view. So if you go to the companies directly and you're like, hey, nobody's watching your ad. There's 5 seconds on YouTube. They're skipping them. It's over. Nobody cares. I'll talk about your company for 60 seconds in a creative way that's fun and my audience will actually appreciate and engage with. And I'll match that. I'll do it for 2 cents. Pay me directly and I'll do it for 2 cents. And that's still, if you get a video that gets 100,000 views at 2 cents a view, I don't know what the math is, but
it's $1 million.
I think that's
it's $1 million.
73 million.
It's 73 million.
It's
ish, yeah. So
there's this YouTuber I watch. His name's what is his name?
Harold Tornado.
Frank Tedesco. He does like piano Omegle stuff. He gets on Omegle and like does piano stuff for people. Great channel, like very entertaining.
And he sounds like Marcus Veltri. Maybe there's 2 people that do it.
Probably.
Marcus Veltri does the same exact
thing. That sounds like Reginald Featherbottom, actually.
Yeah,
as well.
Mr. Featherbottom.
It's actually his cousin. Frank is his cousin. Yeah.
And actually, Featherbottom's aunt was the chicken I ate.
This is some high quality podcast.
Wow. See, it's all connected, folks. We're not rambling.
It's all connected.
Inception. He did an ad for NordVPN, and it was his whole thing is like doing songs. Like people just say, "Do you know this song?" And he'll just like start playing it. And he did a song for NordVPN, and it was my favorite part of the whole video. Like it was like 60, 90 seconds long. Great. Like I loved it. I was like, that's great. It talked about NordVPN. It was appropriate to his channel. It was in his style. His viewers all loved it. And like that ad, penny for penny, was probably one of the more profitable ads for NordVPN, I think.
Are you on NordVPN right now? I notice your IP address is weird. Josh is actually in Zimbabwe.
I do use every product that we recommend. If I don't use it when they reach out to us, I make a point of using it before we take the ad. So yeah, I do use NordVPN.
Oh, and I use Aura. You did an ad for NordVPN as well?
Yeah.
So American Bubble Boy I use all the time. So yeah, there's my one ad.
I trust your guys' opinion on it.
And so they're paying us 0.0001 cents per view.
They should pay you per bubble.
Yes, they should pay us per bubble. That's true. Well, okay, so that's probably
Joel, the guy at American Bubble Boy.
Yes.
And he hasn't given me a confirmation yet, but he's probably going to sponsor FlipCon to some degree.
Oh,
Yes.
FlipCon. We should talk about that for a minute.
Like coupons to put in the goodie bags of like a free roll of bubble wrap for everybody. Because I'm like, you come to the event, $300, you get at least you get a free roll of bubble wrap.
No, you should get a gift basket and then just wrap it with the bubble wrap.
Yeah, exactly.
They have to open it up and then they get the bubble wrap as well.
Yeah.
What if you just get that cardboard tube in the middle of the bubble wrap? That'd be something. You could play swords with it. LARPing, Carrie? Is that what it's called? LARPing?
Yeah, no,
we could do some LARPing.
Yeah, we should. Yeah,
LARPing would be.
Will there be LARPing at FlipCon, or will there? Is it?
We're still waiting on the permits to come, but I'm hopeful.
Gotcha.
So bring your own.
Because I have my robe.
Yeah, I have my foam sword and just a cardboard box shield, so I'm ready.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So, did you guys, Josh? Do you go yard sailing? Did you go yard sailing yesterday? I know you love the flea market, thrift stores.
So I just don't like garage sales. The success rate is just very dismal for us. Like we went yesterday to a community sale that was heavily advertised, biggest community sale ever, and we got there and there was like probably 400 houses in the community, and we went to 4 sales and didn't find anything. Wow. And that's kind of our success rate. Like we could drive around probably from like 6 a.m. until 12 p.m. and maybe find 20 sales, and maybe 2 of those sales have items that we actually buy. Okay. Or we could go to the flea market for 45 minutes, spend $1,000 and find $2,000 in profit.
2,000 pairs of shoes. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Dude, did you so have you tried different towns? This is my first question.
No. Well,
we
live in a very like central area. We live right smack in the middle of South Carolina. So there's like various little communities. Middlesbrough. It's just every time we see a sale and it's like huge video games, whatever, it's like 35 minutes away. And usually, like 95% of the time, if we drive out there, they're like, "Oh yeah, somebody actually came yesterday and bought all the video games."
Always,
but we got like all these baby clothes if you're interested, and we got an old pot.
Here's the key, Josh. You don't go to the ones that advertise like that. You don't go to the ones. You want to go to the ones that have. You want to go to the ones that just barely were able to post something because they didn't even know what they were doing. There's no picture, and it just says
their
spoon.
elbow. A picture of their elbow.
Picture of their elbow, and the only word is spoon. That's it. It just says spoon. That's the one that's going to have in the attic like these silly like Nintendo games that they're great grandson. Wait, that doesn't work time-wise. But
there was 2 yesterday that the Facebook post just said yard sale. Didn't say an address. Didn't say a town. Didn't say a time. So I'm messaging them and I'm finding out all the info. And I show up to the yard sale. I'm like, you had a lot of traffic? They're like, nah, no one came. Weird. That's so bizarre that no one showed up.
In our old neighborhood, it was our neighbor across the street. We had already been to the flea market and garage sales that morning, and we came back home. And I was like, oh, they're having a sale. So I went over there. This was like 11:30. And I was like, have you guys hadn't had much luck? And they're like, we haven't had a single person. I'm like, well, I'm really proud of you for still being out here all morning. And they're like, I was like, did you post online? They're like, no, we just put a sign up there. I'm like, it's 2022. You gotta post
Carrie's
online.
the only one finding yard sales that way still.
No,
signs.
I still do. I use signs and arrows. I have been doing a lot more Craigslist and Facebook for addresses lately, to be fair. But yeah.
Well, so what I found, Josh, and the reason I asked if you tried different cities or towns is because ever since I moved to Florida these last 3 months, I've been striking out. Like you said, 20, 30 sales, come home with 3 items. Like I was to the point where I'd buy like a $7 ashtray and be pumped. Like, haha, profit, yeah. Like I'm so excited. And then I'd get like to edit the video. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so boring. I got nothing good. Yeah. This is awful footage. There's nothing to resell. It's just terrible all ways around. So,
and then people get on Reddit and say that you're a bad reseller because you don't find
No, they don't even know I exist. I've searched that little Reddit thing, and my name has never appeared in there. So, I'm not big enough yet. Yeah,
once you're associated with FlipCon, people are going to know who you are in a negative way.
Good, excellent. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, it's going to happen.
But so what I did is I've been slowly branching out to new towns, right? And now I'm to the point where I have 2 towns that are good. One is 45 minutes north, one's 45 minutes south. Like, that's how far away. And see, I live in, like, the retirement capital of Florida. So everyone is just selling glass. It's just all glass. And not only that, but they're so ancient.
Tupperware
No
lids,
offense.
just garbage.
No offense to Kevin's audience, but these people are so old, they can't even muster the energy to talk to me when I show up to their sale. Like, they're just like, they're like, got their cigarette hanging on.
Wow.
Yeah, and so
Way to alienate most of our audience, Dave.
Most of Kevin's audience. Yes, I know.
He's here on eBay for $400.
Yeah, it's been nothing. So this town 45 minutes south, I'm finding freaking awesome stuff every time I go. And then this Saturday I go up 45 minutes north, and I found, like, the first sale I went to, I got 2 new in box Fitbit Charge 2s, which sell for like $90 a piece. I got a antique fire hydrant, I think for like $10. It sells for like
the silver
80.
ones that people make lamps out of.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And then at the right next door, because they're side by side, I go there, and the guy's selling. It just got a table full of ping putters, 5 ping putters, which are decent, and he's got them for $10 a piece. I give him.
Will you take $1 each?
No, I gave him $40 for 5 ping putters. He's got a handy cam that sells for $100. Like, I'm scoring at I scored at like every yard sale yesterday. Yesterday was Saturday. I bought 86 Harley Davidson t-shirts and long sleeve shirts for $1 a piece.
Oh.
That's insane, man.
It's been nuts for me. It's really exciting. So
I encountered
do you
this
still Whatnot? I was gonna say that's good Whatnot stuff, but I don't.
The Harley. I did an auction a couple weeks ago. I just don't do it a ton because it's a ton of work. They don't pay me to do it. Like, there's not a ton of motivation. And at the end of the day, I'm getting less than what I'd get on eBay. And so I did a whole video about this. But basically, if I'm going to spend 3 hours prepping an auction, doing an auction, and it kind of stresses me out to run the auction, just because you're performing kind of. I'd much rather just like put on a rerun of Friends or Twilight Zone and list for 3 hours those same items and get, 30 to 40% more money. That's kind of where I'm at with Whatnot.
Even if it takes a year?
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if I'm not in a rush for the money, and it's all depending on your situation, right? If I'm not in a rush for the money and I'm okay with waiting, for me, it's a little bit more enjoyable to do it on eBay. But I do think things like the Harley haul, like 85 Harley shirts, would be great for Whatnot. And I might do them on Whatnot and just say, hey.
Especially because you have so little into them.
Yeah. And it's like, it's a single category, right? Everyone who comes is going to be wanting that one item. Right? They like Harley and motorcycle t-shirts and long sleeves. They're going to show up and they're going to bid on those items. I think when you have a cool lot like that, it's really nice to do Whatnot.
Yeah.
Carrie still does them. Are you doing one tomorrow or no?
Nah, man. I don't know. It's hit and miss with Whatnot. I've been focusing more on building up eBay at the moment. It's just, I've done auctions for years. I've done in-person auctions, and they're so up and down and back and forth. And the last couple were not very great. The cards are a little different. Like, if you do cards, the shipping goes down after each additional item you sell.
Yeah,
but they've changed the shipping on, like, random stuff, heavy items. It's a little bit more difficult. I'm sure I will, but I haven't done one for a while, no.
It's so funny. Like that. Last time I was on this podcast, it was like you guys telling me about Whatnot. You're like, oh, you got to get on it, man. It's great. Yeah. We sold 6,000 items this week. It was fantastic.
It is.
Now I'm like,
fast moving.
Whatnot? It's so fun.
Well, so the amount of money we're getting for our items has gone down a lot since the shipping changed too.
True. Yeah.
We sell like bulky big items, and people, they message me and they're like, I had to pay $12 to ship that item that I paid $1 for. That's why I only bid $1. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, but it kind of sucks for me because you bid $1 and it's worth $8 on eBay or $10. Which it's like Carrie always says, you win and you lose in auctions. It's a give and take, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. But it seems like since the shipping change, it was more losing than winning. Yeah. And that's the issue.
And it'll adjust, and I've been trying to find my bearings with a picker auction. I haven't done a lot of card auctions, but card auctions actually have improved. They're a little bit easier to do now that the shipping's changed. So it just depends on what you're selling. If you're doing shirts, it's easy too.
Really screwed on the card auctions because it was just like if somebody bought 50 cards from you, you were shipping an 8-ounce package and the buyer was paying like $55.
Yeah,
you're right.
It's hard balance. Right. It's a hard balance. Yeah, they almost need to do shipping by category, like have different rules for different categories. Because it's honestly the other way now with the priority mail, right? Like someone buys, a couple additional items and it's charging them $46 because it thinks it's going to be such a big package. But if you can get it into cubic rate, it's still only going to be $12 to ship it or whatever.
Yeah. Shipping's tough, man. Did you guys see the announcement that, like, I don't know if it'll affect like Pitney Bowes and eBay and stuff like that, but USPS is canceling their contracts with resellers of postage. So like companies like Pirate Ship. Pirate Ship basically makes their money because they buy all their postage in bulk and then they resell it at a discount, but still at a profit. And apparently there's Louis DeJoy, the Postmaster General guy. He's just like reevaluating all these contracts. I think it's like October 1st. They're all going to be canceled.
What I've heard is the contracts are more like between groups of resellers. I don't know if it affects pirate ship or not, but if it did,
I sure hope not.
Yeah, that would suck. Yeah, that would be really interesting.
Could you imagine if we all had to pay full retail for shipping?
I know.
That would not be ideal.
I'd just start driving stuff to people at that point. Just Uber.
Yeah, might as well. Okay, so we got a new review on iTunes. We like to keep up with the reviews on iTunes. Okay, so the title is Like Nails on a Chalkboard. This podcast, despite being as horrible to listen to as two cats screeching at each other, is addicting as fast food. I listen to these as soon as they come out. Dave and his ability to keep the show going with his ability to bring up nothing to do with reselling, just like his NC Flooper videos. I love carrying his $1 cards and Kevin and his horrible internet. This is truly... And then they never finished it. And I love that. I really like that they couldn't even successfully leave a review.
It truly is the adjective there that's describing the podcast. This podcast
is truly.
Is just truly.
This is true. It's the alcoholic beverage, I think. It's truly. Yeah.
White Claw, but
yeah,
it's okay.
Well, same idea. Yeah, it's just a truly White Claw. Carrie, can you name what this is from, by the way? Speaking of reselling.
Oh,
this is a little action figure.
Is that Ninja Turtles?
That is Ninja Turtles. See, he's the toy guy. And I actually had a little bit of a Bolo, which I already knew, and I figured Carrie already knew. But, I figured I could have it be my Bolo. Kevin likes to do a Bolo of the week. He likes to be like a real reselling podcast, Josh. Mm-hmm. We try to
which is ridiculous. He should know what we're doing.
We try to avoid all reselling talk, but Kevin likes to keep bringing it up.
Yeah, and so he just texted me and said, American Bubble Boy, also say something about reselling. So we're going to do that. I got these little Five Nights at Freddy's guys. Funko Pop.
I had that exact one. The purple one. Yeah,
the purple one. Okay, so this one sells for $30, right? I don't know if her name's Bonnie or... I don't know. My kids would know. I don't know. But this one sells for $30, and then this guy sells for $60. This little one with the top hat and the little cheeks there. And so that's my Bolo of the week. I paid $2 a piece. There you go. They say Funko Pop, by the way. You got to make sure they say Funko Pop as a brand.
True.
Okay, go.
So this, first off, I'm going to give you my Bolo, but it's from a yard sale that I went to this weekend, and it's the first time in my life I've ever been to a yard sale that I kind of stopped looking early because it was so hot. It's the dead of summer here in Vegas, and I'm from Utah. I'm not used to it yet. So
it's only summer in Vegas, guys. Only summer in Vegas.
Yeah, that's true. But it's hotter in Vegas because apparently we're in a desert. That's what they keep telling me.
Yeah,
it's a dry heat, though. You don't know hot until you come
you don't know. Come down to me and Josh's territory,
bro. Humidity. Yeah, I hear that a lot. You guys are very, very proud of your humidity down there. But,
we're very proud.
Yeah, all these people out west, they don't know what hot is, man.
I go through 6 T-shirts in a day over here.
That's low key Josh's real voice too. He has a stage.
Yeah, I had to turn it off because it just don't work for.
Doesn't play on the YouTube.
Dave, like Kevin's from the California, but he always has that country accent that's just so fake. Try talking to him on the phone. Sounds nothing like it, but that's neither here nor there. Just an accusation I'm throwing out for no reason.
It's fair.
But anyway, I found this yard sale, just toys and 80s ephemera just lying on the garage floor. Just
80s ephemera?
Yeah, just like coloring books, G.I. Joe coloring books, stuff like that.
I think like letters.
Yeah, no letter. There could have been letters, but there were so many toys and like little trinket toys. Dawn found, go figure, Dawn, my girlfriend, she found a Bionic 6. Yeah, she found a Bionic 6 thermos. There's only one on eBay going for like $100.
Wow.
This one's not complete, but it doesn't have the lid, you drink out of like back in the old days, but probably get like 30, 40. And we got tons of the little PVC plastic figures like Alf. Apparently Wiener Schnitzels has a mascot and it's a dog. And a lot of those are like 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks a piece.
Kind of twisted. Kind of a twisted mascot for Wiener Schnitzel,
you know? That is true. They also have a wiener. They also have a hot dog.
They have a wiener?
No, well, I mean, that's... Welcome to Kindergarten Cop, yes. Boys do, yes. No, but they have a hot dog, and they also have an actual dog that's a mascot, which I just learned.
Wow.
A random toy at a garage sale.
That's close. There's always like the chicken restaurant in like movies that isn't like an official franchise chicken restaurant, but they usually have like a chicken logo or a chicken mascot. Like, come eat this chicken, and this is a chicken mascot. And like, you never want your mascot to be the thing that you're eating, Like Chick-fil-A did it right. Chick-fil-A's like, we'll do a cow. Chick-fil-A has the best mascot ever.
That is actually
smart.
Super brilliant. In-N-Out, I worked at In-N-Out. They didn't have a mascot. It was just, it was just
Carrie.
Here in South Carolina, we have 2 different barbecue restaurants that have pig mascots. I'm like, you're eating it. You don't.
You're
you don't
eating
wanna
the
do that.
mascot, yeah.
They're encouraging you to kill their family and friends. That's a little bit intense if you think about it. That is.
Yeah.
You know, I got in a little tiff at a barbecue place Saturday after I went yard sailing. There's a good barbecue joint on the way home. And I go to pull into the parking lot, and it's kind of a tight parking lot, right off like a double yellow line, like very highly trafficked road. And I'm trying to pull in, and the guy in front of me just kind of stops so that I'm forced to be in the middle of this highly trafficked road. I can't go forward. And he's just not pulling into the parking lot. He's just blocking the parking lot. And I'm like, okay, so what's happening here? I hope he moves soon because there's a lot of cars coming really fast. And he did move soon, but he started going backwards, right? Like towards me. And I'm like, does he see me? And my mom's like, he doesn't see you. And she's like screaming because she just loses her mind on that stuff. And he's like an inch away from me, and I'm just like, honk, like just blaring on the horn. And then he pulls in. I almost had a heart attack. I'm telling you, it didn't feel good. He pulls into his parking spot, and I pull into mine, and I get out. Like, I go to walk to go get my barbecue, and then I look back, and he's driving away. He just was like, I'm not doing barbecue anymore.
I don't know. I zoned out. I was waiting for you to say like you almost pooped your pants or something. That's the kind of story I thought this was going to be.
I'm sorry. I'll do better next time. See, I had pooped my pants, but it was kind of embarrassing, so I wasn't going to mention it because I was so scared. But
it was earlier in the day, and it already dried.
At that point, you're just gonna lug it around. You're just gonna walk with the log.
Oh, speaking of that, okay, so I know we've had the sponsor of Preparation H. We've had TuxNet medicated wipes. We've never officially had a sponsorship from Depends at all, right?
That's true.
But I was talking to their rep, and they know you're doing this travel across the U.S. You're going from Vegas all the way to Tennessee, and then you're going to New York and Florida.
I don't want to
stop.
stop.
This is kind of like the idea. They're going to provide you with a free pack of Depends, and you have
just
to not...
one pack? That's all I get?
That's all you get.
One.
They're reusable.
Like one day, man.
Yeah, you just wash them.
Just wash them. Put them on the washboard. Yeah. So anyways...
That's awesome.
The plan is for you to kind of talk every day like, hey, I'm in Goodwill. I've got 4 fecal matters in my underpants right now, and Depends is dependable. You know, it's not leaking at all. And that sort of stuff. Just kind of...
I don't feel weird at all shopping with this. Shopping with the twins and.
So they've offered you the free box that Depends, and then also $14. So if you're willing,
hey man,
you know,
I would have done the deal.
$14 is a store credit.
Yes, it Depends. It only works at Walgreens, not Rite Aid. Yeah,
they're
so
really
you gotta...
trying to get us all on Depends.com at this point. That's a big push they're making. They've decided to go all in on the websites at this point.
Well, the reason I said that... Oh, go ahead, Josh.
I was just going to say, Kerry just leaned back and showed off his new fancy background a little bit. Kerry,
let's see it. Now, I know a lot of you guys listen, but Kerry has a new Mighty Ducks. Is that a flag? Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's a flag. Yeah,
is that like vintage? Is it VTG?
No, it's like 10 years old. It's like the newer logo.
Is it BNIB?
Brand new in box?
Yeah.
It's open and you can look at it, Dave.
It's BNOW. Brand new
on wall.
Brand new on the wall. There we go. Yeah.
I thought it was funny when we started the podcast tonight. Carrie's like, "Yeah, I got a background finally," and I was like, "I love that you put it in the exact spot in the room where you can't see it. If you would put it anywhere else in the room, we could see it."
No, but I want everybody to focus on my one light that doesn't have a light bulb, and then the other one that does. And I tried to turn the one on that did, but it just blurred everything. So it's too much power. Too much.
What is that next to you? Is that a Slinky?
That's a fan. That's his only fan.
Okay. Looks like.
Oh yeah, that's my own. Yeah. Speaking of, it's a good time to plug my OnlyFans. I hope this doesn't embarrass you, Josh. But
I'll plug mine.
He does pottery with his shirt off. That's kind of his thing.
Dawn was literally telling me yesterday, no joke, that I should start an OnlyFans, and I'm like, you know what OnlyFans is? She said just to go on and talk about like reselling and stuff. And I'm like, no,
she doesn't know what it is.
No, I mean, she knows what it is, but I'm like, I can't even, like, even if I was doing it seriously, I can't tell people I'm on OnlyFans and then I don't know.
But just take your shirt off. That's it. That's the only difference. It's the same exact content.
No, but it's like, exactly,
and you can only see to like here.
No, it's like I'm always so up close in my videos and abrasive. They won't even know that I have
no collar. That's all that's missing is the collar.
I'll just fake it. I'll just be wearing like, a tank top and they won't know.
Or just do like garage sale videos. A lot of people have their camera pointed down to their feet and just do it barefoot garage sale.
Ooh, yeah. People are into that.
Just actually like grab the items with my feet and stuff.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. That actually, there's probably somebody out there that would enjoy that. I think so.
We were talking about acronyms on eBay that you see all the time, right? VTG means vintage, BNIB is brand new in box. You know what kind of gets to me is we use all these acronyms. I'm fairly confident that like 80% of people shopping on eBay don't know what a lot of them mean, like EUC. Like, what the heck is an EUC? I didn't know that until like 6 months ago. I didn't know. I see it in listings all the time. Like, what is an EUC?
Anytime I'd shoes. I would list as like men's blah blah blah, men's size 10 EUC, and people were like, is that like a European size?
Yeah,
because they thought that was like part of the size, and I had to like change it around and put EUC in different places, and then I just stopped saying it because nobody knows.
Yeah,
it's extreme use condition, right?
Yeah. Well, and it's like the resellers who are in the know all know it, and they're like, come on, of course that means excellent use condition, but the actual people buying your items have no idea what all this crap means. Like, I'm convinced there's a good portion of them that don't really know what VTG means. They just don't know. Like, I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know. My mom wouldn't know if she was shopping.
I do think that if someone searches vintage, like types out the word vintage, and your listing has VTG, it will show up.
Yeah. Well, and if you've typed out vintage, then you might actually be looking for VTG. That might click, right? But if you just type in Polly Pocket, you may not realize that VTG means vintage. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I think it's an interesting. So let's just stop, guys. Let's just stop with the acronyms. That's all I'm saying. Use your 3 digits for something else. Write the word hot. Do 3 fire emojis.
Do 3 fire emojis.
Every time I do 3 fire emojis, my stuff sells instantly. I don't know about you guys.
Or like look. All capitals, but the O's are
the O's
symbols.
Are
Just do the eyeballs only.
Yeah.
Oh, you could do the eyeballs too. That's true. So you got the @ symbols or the eyeballs.
Verified eBay tips from Harry Tornado right here, guys.
Okay, so second review we got. Okay, so I like to read the reviews. F350 Power Stroke said, Baja Blast Mountain Dew. That's the title of the review. Just Baja Blast Mountain Dew. That's the title. This is the absolute worst podcast. They barely ever mention Baja Blast Mountain Dew. All they want to talk about is reselling. Who cares about reselling? You know what is a popular topic? Preparation H. This is what people want. I probably still will give it a 5 out of 5 stars because of the diarrhea talk. Keep up the good work. I like that. That's good.
I don't even know if we could really sincerely talk about reselling at this point. We've kind of really put ourselves into a corner here, Dave. It's just this is who we are now. Whatever. Yeah. Just leave me.
I'm just really glad that I'm not a permanent part of this.
Yeah, that's fair. You should be happy. Dude, we got a lot of great reviews. See, these are really our people, Josh. I mean, you got people on that pure hustle, saying things like, I learned so much. That's nonsense. We don't want any learning here.
Q3 and Q4. It's not even
box number 7.
Yeah, priority boxes. And I should mail my stuff on time. Don't listen to them.
Yeah.
Just do what you want.
Yeah. Don't even sell stuff. Just don't even make an eBay account. Just stop reselling.
Do it like Dave. Just do a YouTube channel on reselling. Don't sell anything.
Don't sell. Yeah, it's all fake. Me pulling those orders, fake. It's a lot of work, though.
It's true. It is for a $4 DVD free shipping. It's a lot of work, Dave. Come on.
Josh, how's life in the new garage? I don't know. You guys who may not see all Josh's video, he has like a mega garage outside. Carrie, I know you don't watch his videos.
No, I saw that. I did see that.
How's life in the mega garage? Are you out there all the time? Is it like a little bit of your day?
Yeah. Well, it's I really like it out there. It's air conditioned, so that's really nice. It's not quite as like efficient as our house, so it's not quite as cold out there. But it's really nice. It's nice to have like some separation between work and business. Like I edit the videos in our house, but all the reselling stuff, listing, cleaning, recording, whatnot, sales, all that is out in the garage. It's really nice.
That giant pile of t-shirts that are unlisted over there, exactly. In my office. Carrie, I'm sure if he panned his camera in either direction, there's just inventory everywhere.
Our
reselling guys.
I wouldn't have expected that to be a clean table.
That's fair. No, I tables are great to put stuff on and just leave it there until you get so sick of seeing it every day that you do something about it. That's my goal.
In the garage, I made this big table with I got one of those 5-tier shelves that you could break into 2, and then I put a big sheet of full plywood on top. I was like, oh my gosh, we can do so much stuff up here. And that table is currently just completely filled 100% with just junk sitting on top of it. This is not usable. And it's big. It's a full sheet of plywood, 8 feet by 4 feet or whatever a sheet of plywood is.
Mine's 16 feet, I think. Hold on, let me shut my laptop just a little bit. It's hard to see.
Oh yeah.
But that whole entire table over there, all the way to the end, is just covered with random unlisted inventory. Just the whole thing.
Just,
And every time I clean it, I just fill it again.
Just half drunk Baja Blast hot Cheeto bags.
That's all over here. The cupcake wrappers. I made some really good cupcakes today, guys. I'm telling you, they were delicious. World's best? I don't know.
Cupcake wrapper. So you store bought those and pretended that you made them?
No, these things. The little as I hold it up.
Oh
yeah, the little thing that you put.
Like the satchel, the thing.
The cupcake underpants or whatever.
I've got an interesting idea if you guys want to try this out. So I went to this YouTube conference last year, and Mr. Beast was there. A bunch of YouTubers.
Heard of him.
He was doing a talk about YouTube and stuff and how they come up with ideas. And he said sometimes they'll just like use this random word generator on a website and just generate a word and have like a room filled with like 20 people, and they all just like brainstorm video ideas from that one word. And I was like, I feel like this would be interesting to do for a minute or two.
I like it. So generate a word for us.
Let's see.
I'm ready. Me and Carrie are creative geniuses. So prepare yourself to be wowed.
Okay.
Baja Blast is the answer.
First word is engagement.
All right. Me and Carrie get engagemented.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that was it. I'm done.
Oh, we get engaged at a yard sale. Yeah,
no, but engagement. So no, the word is engagement. So it's about people being engaged to you, Carrie, not like us getting engaged to each other.
That's the key to a good reseller YouTube video. That all the best reseller YouTube videos have engagement from other people. That's true. That's all you need to do. Yeah. People don't want to see you 45 minutes talking about your Goodwill Bins haul with one headshot. They want to see you out talking to strangers.
Yeah, they want to see.
Can we? Okay, so listen. That's fine.
They want to see us selling bottles of water to people. Is what they want.
Yeah.
This is a YouTube hack. Josh just gave a YouTube hack, guys, that a lot of you should focus on. Movement, motion, any sort of motion on your video is better than just you looking at the camera and talking. I know we do it in this podcast, but this is really for audio listening. And if you're going to do this, you got to be a psychopath with your hands like I'm doing right now.
Gotta do that.
Catch the eyes. You've got to make people's brains stay awake. If you just sit here and say, I sold this Ninja Turtles toy for $7. I paid $1 at the Goodwill Bins. This knife sold for $4. People they'll tune out, and they'll be too lazy and too asleep to click away, or they'll click away on purpose.
Yeah,
they're so used to watching Carrie's TikToks that are like 30 seconds long that they don't have time for a 30-minute video.
And it's like people constantly message me on my NC Flipper channel saying, Dave, you don't have to go and pick your items with the camera in your hand. You don't need to walk around your garage. I'm like, but I do. You don't understand that I actually do need to do that, because even though you don't think you love it, you do love the motion. Because we're just all needing motion and constant stimulation all the time.
Caleb actually does that really well on his channel, both in ads and regular talk. You'll see him all the time with like the GoPro. He'll be like, so we've come to Half Price Books to try to find games to flip for a profit. And then the next shot is like him in the back seat of his car, like laying down. He's like,
yeah, I've seen him do that.
We've got a budget of $14. Like he always changes different scenarios like that. That's why he's a really good YouTuber.
We all have ADD. And so if you love the creator, if you love their personality and them as a person, there's plenty of people I watch that just sit there and talk to me, but it's because I really, really like that person, and that it's harder to get the mega invested audience without at least doing some of these old tricks, right? Motion, things like that, to pull them in first. Once you pull them in, you can slow it down if you've got enough audience, but. Anyways, how did this come up? Engagement. So, so our idea...
I think we covered engagement.
Our idea was to make a YouTube video teaching people how to keep engagement. There you go. There's our idea.
Word number 2, jam.
Jam. Okay, Carrie, you go first. I don't want to cut you off.
I say we do a video where we search for video games, with the Holy Grail being, of course, NBA Jam Tournament Edition. And we cannot end the video until we find that. If it has to be months, years... decades, it doesn't matter. We're gonna find that game, and then
even if we never actually. Is this a live stream?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a live stream. Yes, definitely. It's gonna be on Twitch. I'm gonna see if I can break that record.
Okay. And so mine is to just before every yard sale, before you hit record, you just dip your hands in a big thing of jam. And then when you go shopping at like these estate sales and stuff, you just grab everything and get jam all over the place.
That's
and just
I'm picturing like a jacket with jam in the pocket.
Like a jam
you're just at a yard sale.
Pull out your jam fingers.
No. They think you're a totally normal guy. They're like, for this thing.
He's got jam hands.
And you pull out Covered in
all your
jam.
money. All your money's covered in jam. Yeah.
Everything you touch gets covered. Because listen, they get mad at me, Josh, if I pick up a towel and put it back too hard. Imagine if I had jam hands and I was grabbing the towels.
But that's almost like
how long you can go with it. They're like, what is all this? You're like, what is what?
It's just jam. I'm jamming. It's
jam?
fine.
But I seriously think there is a market there maybe for challenge yard sale videos where it's something that's maybe not super abrasive, like jam hands. That's hilarious. I will.
But to be
I'll
honest
literally
with you,
film that with
anytime
you,
we've
Dave,
tried
if you want to do it.
Yeah. So anytime we've tried to do like a challenge, like it's really hit or miss. Like some people really like it, and other people are like, I don't like this. You need to go back to doing your old videos. Just pulling orders.
I miss the old Josh.
Like, go watch Dave's channel if you want to watch somebody pulling eBay orders.
Yeah. What if we were to combine both ideas, right? We're doing the jam hands looking for NBA Jam. Double jam.
Yeah, that's true.
Perfect.
Could you imagine that thumbnail of you holding NBA Jam with your hands covered in jam?
I would totally click that.
I would too.
All right, next word.
I love it.
Classroom.
I'm realizing this is why I suck.
I'm trying not to think of child trafficking right now since we're resellers. It's just where the brain went.
Let's skip. Let's do a different word.
Let's not talk about that.
Glass.
Oh,
well,
yeah, just shop in Florida. Yeah, that's all it is. Is glass.
That's all the glass you need.
Can you actually find something worth something?
Yeah.
We talked about vacuum earlier. That's
vacuum.
The rainbow you found.
Yeah,
dude. Honestly, there probably is a lot of money to be made on vacuums because most resellers ignore them because they're big and they're a pain, and a lot of times they smell, especially if they were cleaning gross carpets. But there's a lot of pretty valuable vacuums, and my mom buys them all, and then tells me that she doesn't want to resell them, puts them in my garage, and now my garage is full of vacuums.
Mm-hmm.
I think we take one penny. This hasn't been done, and we see if we can make it all the way to Idaho so that Osborne to Thrift can teach us about how, like, vacuum parts. But it's got to be better. That's not very good. That actually is terrible.
That is terrible. And honestly, like, classroom could be like any old, just teaching you how to resell thing too. Yeah. Right. That's easy.
Or like making a video about like the resale value of things you used to have in the classroom, like Lisa Frank crap, and
her crap is worth big money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I broke into this school at 2 a.m. to tell you about.
Yeah. You guys remember those pencils? They weren't clickable. They had like the little tips you'd pull out and put back in the...
Yeah. My friend stabbed me in the palm with one that got stuck in there, the lead or whatever, for like a month. Yeah, it was pretty painful.
Do you remember those pins where like you could press down like 18 different colors in the pin, but it was all inside one pin?
They still make those, yeah. My kids had one.
Next word. Cinema.
Okay, so that's pretty easy. So basically what we do is we take all the stuff that we got at a yard sale that day and we bring it into the cinema, right? So whatever we bought, we just act like we work there, right? We just pretend we're employees, and we just start bringing in all the stuff, the 85 Harley Davidson t-shirts, the Fitbit, and just take multiple trips, bring it all into the cinema, and then just kind of see if you get in trouble. I mean, that's my idea.
I think, you go to a cinema, you go to a theater with stuff you bought yard selling that day, and you can't leave until you've sold every single item.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
alternative idea.
And arrest you.
Did you guys see that video where I did something like that? Selling all my stuff?
No. What happened?
You have a YouTube channel?
Yeah,
I've never seen
YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Tell us about it.
It's like a part-time thing. But all this stuff I got from the video, the TJ Maxx haul, like all that stuff I bought, I sold it from a wagon. I filled up a wagon, and we went around town selling it. It was more like me begging people to buy it. But the goal was like, I'm not going to end this video until we sell every last thing.
How much did you make?
Yeah.
Like $67 in profit.
In profit, okay.
Yeah,
additionally, we could have we could like belittle all the people selling lemonade at their yard sales and say, hey, you need to be selling movie theater popcorn.
Yeah.
Right? And you actually bring the popcorn to them from the cinema, and you actually like set up a whole popcorn machine and help them up their food game at yard sales. Did you guys eat any food at yard sales this weekend? Because I did.
No.
Carrie?
No, I definitely didn't. I'm not a sociopath, no.
No. Well, it was at estate sales, and I wasn't supposed to eat it. I just was eating the rice-a-roni when no one was looking.
Thinking, when you were talking about the lemonade thing, I was thinking about that old Tom Green skit where he was following the pizza guy with the pizza, and he was going to make the people the pizza instead of taking the pizza guy's pizza. Have you ever seen that one before?
No.
Undercutter's Pizza? Like, what if we went around with, like, a lemonade booth, and then wherever we saw some kid selling lemonade, we just put up a booth, and we undercut them.
Yeah.
Just to make the kid cry. I actually,
I mean, we'll give all the money to the kid, but we don't tell him that until the end.
I went to a yard sale.
I saw a video a couple days ago. This guy, he went up to this kid who was selling chocolate bars. He's like, "Hey man, how much are your chocolate bars?" Kid said $5, which threw me for a loop. I was like, "Wow, that's crazy." Kid probably had, I don't know, 50, 60 bars, and the guy's like, "How about I give you $100 for all of them?" And the kid was like, and the kid's like, "Come on, take it. You're done. $100, all of them." And the kid's like, "Okay, deal." And he took it, and the guy takes the bars, turns around, and just starts selling the chocolate bars for $5 each again. He's like, "Hey, you guys selling chocolate bars?" He just hijacked the kid's business. And it made me, so this one time we were yard selling it, and I like to buy lemonade from kids just to be nice. And this one time I got lemonade from this kid, and it was horrible.
It's always horrible. It's always horrible.
Not always. Sometimes it's decent, but this was like bad. Like I couldn't even drink it. I was like, that kid sucks. And I said it in the video. I said it like I was recording. I was like, this sucks. Like if that kid wants to make it, he's gonna have to get better. And Haley's like, you can't put that in the video. I was like, I should be able to. Like that kid sucks. Like
that should have been the thumbnail and the title.
Well, yeah, it's not clear. Were you saying that kid sucks or the lemonade sucks?
No, that kid sucks at like running a business. I don't care that he's 4 years old. He doesn't. He or his mom does not know how to make lemonade.
Worst 4-year-old businessman ever.
I'd click it.
Like I feel like there's a video idea like harsh critiquing of children-owned businesses. Like, hey man, this lemonade sucks, and like nobody's gonna buy it. I don't care that it's 10 cents.
Wow, this is like exactly So just making kids cry. This is Josh's next YouTube channel. Making
this
kids
is
cry
Harry
for
Tornado
my pleasure.
After hours, where it's just like he's a little more edgy, a little bit more edgy.
For all those people that still think I'm a good person.
Yeah, phew, we saved
Ruin
you.
it.
No, I mean, listen, I like to buy lemonade too. It's almost always way too sugary. I mean, that's what I run into here in Florida and North Carolina. It's just always like way too much sugar. Like your teeth feel furry after you drink this lemonade.
Yep.
And Carrie never buys it. But this last weekend I got a brownie and I got 2 cookies. And the cookies were good. The brownies were boring. And I should have gone back and told that little girl, like, yo, these brownies are boring.
You're the guy that's eaten anything that's at a yard sale, though. A cookie, I think you can have. You can't really mess up a cookie or a brownie. But
you could put some hair in it.
Yeah, but if they had like a tuna fish sandwich or something, you would eat that as well. You have no discrimination for what you will eat anything.
I would not eat a tuna fish sandwich no matter what you paid me, sir. Thank you very much.
Do you not like fish?
I don't like fish. I'm allergic. Ever since I worked in a fish restaurant as a fish fryer guy, and there was always little worms in the fish, and then I had a scrod eating contest, and I barfed everywhere, and ever since I can't even touch fish.
Why are you calling?
Wait, are you actually allergic, or are you just saying that?
No, I hate fish. I hate fish because I tortured myself into eating like 50 pieces of scrod one night, and now if I smell it, I gag. Any fish. If I smell fish, I gag. It's an instantaneous reaction.
I used to, when I was a kid, I was very picky.
Remember that.
Yeah.
That's going to come up again in the future.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I was very picky, but I was polite. So if I went to somebody's house and they offered me some food or drink I didn't like, I would just say I was allergic because I didn't want to say that I didn't like it and didn't want it. I'm like, I'm allergic. I don't like milk, like just plain milk. I only like chocolate milk. So they're like, you want some milk? I was like, no, I'm allergic. And then they also had chocolate milk, and I was like, I could go for some chocolate milk.
I'm not allergic to the chocolate version of milk.
The dairy, yeah.
The chocolate counteracts the allergy. Actually, it's really exciting. Milk lemonade. Round the corner fudge is made. Have you heard that one? That's really good. Yeah.
Is that like a Roald Dahl book or something?
I heard it on Family Guy, if that helps you narrow down the meaning.
The next word over here was yearn, but I don't even know what that means.
Yearn is to like strongly desire the item at the yard. That, I mean, I could put that in one of my thumbnails tomorrow. Josh, here's a YouTube question. Do you normally have like videos pre-scheduled on your YouTube
videos
channel?
Pre-what?
Scheduled. Like, are you ever ahead of the game? Like, oh, I've got 6 in the can. And why is that?
I might have 1 or 2 in the can, but no. I know.
Is that a strategy or?
I think it's good. Like if your content isn't time sensitive,
Yeah.
I think it's good. It definitely takes some pressure off. Like Retro Rick, I'm pretty sure he's like 4 months out right now. He's got like, he does 2 videos a week. So he's probably got like 50 or 60 videos like already uploaded to YouTube privately.
Wow.
That's impressive. Yeah.
I'm
a month.
Actually, I have one. It's a YouTube short. I'm posting it tomorrow.
I'm a month ahead. So I have like a month worth of content done and upload. I'm not always like that, and when I'm not like that, I'm super stressed because I do have a day job and stuff, and it's just like you never know when you're gonna have time to fit in the video content. So I have to like hunker down, come up to my office and say, hey, I'm gonna be in my office for 14 hours editing, and just like let me focus and just pound them out because I don't know when I'm gonna get to do it again. And so for me, I'm like only not stressed if I have like a few weeks loaded up, basically. That's how and Carrie does the opposite thing, right? So like he actually tries to have negative videos made. So like
that's true.
He'll take down his videos so that he doesn't have to make new videos. That's some weird. How's that logic work, Carrie?
I'll be honest. Like sometimes, like just the stress of knowing how long it's going to take me to edit a video kind of makes me prolong it and procrastinate it.
Josh,
I haven't
these guys both use their phones. Him and Kevin both use their phones to do all their YouTube editing.
And it's not. I actually like using my phone.
I think we just hit 500 uploads, and probably my first 150 videos were edited on my phone.
And was it quicker?
No.
No, it was not.
It wasn't bad. It was easier because I could just like edit wherever I was.
Yes, which I think is why Carrie likes it.
Once if you like same with eBay listing. Like listing on a computer is 10 times faster than listing on your phone. I don't care what you say.
I just haven't gotten the hang of like DaVinci Resolve yet, so it's slower for me. But I know like if I learned it and I got better at it, I would be faster there. For sure.
DaVinci Resolve is way. I mean, it's good, but it's way too complicated. Like I tried it, I downloaded it because I was like, oh, it's free, so that's good. But I'm like, I'm gonna have to. The amount of time I have to spend learning this, I'll just buy something more simple. This is reselling content. You don't have to have fancy editing tools,
So what do you use? Maybe it's something Carrie would like better.
I use Power Director 365.
Okay, interesting.
I think it's like I don't remember if it's a subscription based or like a one-time thing, but it's nice, simple, easy to use. There's like a whole YouTube channel about like different tutorials. This guy does only Power Director videos.
I'll look into it. I probably should. I mean, I'm so much more comfortable with my phone, but if I can find something a little, I don't know. It doesn't even take me that long. It's just I'm so used to doing short form videos that I struggle with long form. That's just the truth. I cut my teeth on short form instead of long form, and it's kind of screwed me up differently than it has. Like most people have done content and have done long form, and then they're trying to learn how to do short form. I'm opposite, so it's a struggle.
Josh, what do you
have good? I was just saying, like, it's good that you started with short form because you're probably way better at like audience retention in long form videos than people that originated with long form. Like how to keep somebody's attention.
Probably. Yeah,
because you have to do that with short form.
Yeah, it's ruthless. Short form is ruthless with attention. That's for sure.
Can I just get an audio confirmation that I can use what's it called? In My Shoes as my theme song on my YouTube channel from now on?
Yeah, for sure.
By Josh Varnell.
It's certainly not going to get picked up by any record labels anytime soon. It's not going to have any copyright infringement.
Dude,
issues.
You really should put it on Spotify and just see what, like, tell your viewers about it and just see what happens. Like, it'd be interesting.
I can make like 0.008 cents.
No, it's more, okay, so you'd only do this if it was a passion of yours. Like, if you really like singing and making music, then it would be an interesting kind of, like, see how it pans. It's like my cooking channel. Like I love cooking. I'm passionate about cooking, and I was like, let me just throw some stuff up against a wall and see if people enjoy it. And I just thought kind of be a kind of a cool experiment. So, with your singing, if you like that, that could be something you do as a side project.
It could.
Just for fun. Like I've talked about that before. I'm not going to say it again. You know what? Whenever I think of a bad transition, I like to pull out a baseball card and rip it in front of Carrie because it makes him sad. This is Mr. Stephen Curry.
Stephen Curry.
Stephen, I made him. Is he related to Madame Curie?
Is this the guy that always shoots free throws?
Threes, yes, always lots of free throws. He's good at them.
And so Carrie likes cards a lot, so this kind of hurts his soul whenever I do it. Is
this a magic trick? Are you gonna like?
No. This is just to make Carrie sad. That's all. I like to do it once a show.
Yeah, it's just it's it's pointless and it's cruel. Which is kind of Dave's thing.
If you tell me something you love, like some sort of collectible, I'll buy some and I'll just rip them in the show. That's just what I do, whatever it is that you love.
So I filmed a video with Retro Rick last week,
Yeah,
and it
me
was
too.
like the scavenger hunt type thing that I did with Caleb. And if he found all 5 items that I told him to find, I was going to give him this pack of sealed Pokemon cards from 1999. It was the Gym Trainer edition. It was like a $200 pack of Pokemon cards. And then at the end of the episode, we were going to open them if he won them. Spoiler alert, he did win the pack of Pokemon cards. And that was interesting, like opening up a pack of cards that was like 22 years old.
So here's a question. If he had lost, would you have burned him in front of him? Because that's what I would have done.
Should have.
That would have been so good.
Yeah,
and all the viewers would get so triggered and they'd comment, "What's wrong with you?" And then you'd get a bunch of engagement, right?
Yeah.
And then you could jam with them. Wait, can we fit all the words in here? And take them to school.
Yeah.
And then you all go to the cinema to celebrate.
For your video to be over.
Yeah, they can yearn for the cinema.
It is interesting, like you were talking about opening up the Pokemon packs. There is 2 things at play, and why people love those, watching those kinds of videos and experiencing that, is it's nostalgia, which is a heavy drug, and gambling. Gambling and nostalgia. It's a good combination for attention. So yeah, it's fun to go through old baseball card, basketball, football card packs. I didn't collect Pokemon, so I have no attachment to it, but there's people who go crazy for Pokemon.
So I was trying to, like, the video I did with Caleb did very well. Like, it in terms of views, it was okay. It was like 7 out of 10, but the engagement was really good. Like, everybody that watched it loved it. Like, even now people are like, this is the best video you've ever made. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it. It was really good. And then with Rick, I was like, let's do the same thing, same formula, but also add this extra element of this like Pokemon card opening. And we did it we talked about it in the beginning in like the first 10 seconds, and we talked about like 2 other times in the middle of the video. And then at the end of the video, it led up. We talked about Pokemon a little bit, talked about Rick's channel a little bit, and then we opened up the pack, and then the video is over within like 10 seconds. So the retention on the video should be pretty good. I'm hoping, at least.
Yeah. I thought, yeah. I got distracted because we had a comment hidden in the held for review, and I got distracted. I read it all. Good. Well, it's about you, Josh. So I was like, what is this? Is this relevant? And it's not. It's that same TJ Maxx topic before, someone defending you and someone saying you're a monster. So we're just not even going to waste our time on it.
Hey, as long as people are talking about me, I don't care.
What is your retention rate on a normal video, or like channel wide if you have it? Retention rate.
I don't know. Channel wide's probably like 55 to 60%. I have one, like Mr. Beast says that if your video is not 70% retention, then it's not good enough, because that's usually what they average. But
70%, dude, he's good though, because he's constantly like throwing in a new thing that you want to find out. Like, it's impressive what he does.
He'll do a mini video idea like in the middle of a video just to keep your attention going.
It's
and like
pretty
the more
impressive.
Things going on, it's very rarely like if the video is like asking people to quit their jobs for $100,000. It's not one person. It's like 15 people, and he's offering them like $5,000 or something. And it keeps going. And he's like, they did a fireworks video last year for like,
I remember that one. Yeah,
like lighting $100,000 firework, but it was like this is a $1 firework. This is a $100 firework, and it kept going up, and he kept pushing it. It's like, you guys, we're about to light a $100,000 firework. You do not want to miss it. It's going to be crazy. And he just kept saying stuff like that. And it was exciting.
So how do you work that into a yard sailing video? Like,
exactly.
I mean, I try it. I do try it. So at the beginning of like each sale lately, I've been adding like a little note about the next sale, right? Like, oh, at the next sale, I found an awesome vintage toy. So you're like, you've already been teased about the second sale and the first sale, and you're teased about the third sale and the second sale. But I'm just doing it with like words on the screen, which who knows if people are reading them. I actually do think my retention's gone up a little bit, but it's definitely difficult for sure.
I only have one video that has at least a 70% retention. It's the one where I found the Game Boy Micro recently. Do you remember that one? So that video, I was like very intentional. It was a flea market video basically, but it was maybe only the first 3 minutes, and I didn't find much at the flea market that day, so I wanted it to be all about the Micro. So it was like, I found it, I talked about the potential value, it didn't work. I went and got a charger, it didn't work. I ordered a new battery, put it in, tested it on camera, it did work, kinda. And there was very little like wasted space in there. Like it was like people could follow the Game Boy Micro from the source to seeing that it actually did work. And then once I showed that it did work, done. I didn't even do an end screen in that video, which saved me 20 seconds. I was like, oh, look, it does work, kinda. And then the video is over.
Wow.
So
I've
like
never
just
done an end
cutting
screen.
out anything that isn't absolutely necessary. Like so many people like start their videos and are like, hey, what is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. So sorry it's been 4 months since my last upload. Just, things have been like so crazy, and I don't even want to get into it. It's so much drama, but we won't talk about that. So I sold some things on. I'm like, none of this is important.
Yes.
None of it.
Yeah, we actually just
Zero.
lost 7 podcast subscribers just from you doing that.
You want to start with just screaming, I'm bleeding! Oh my god! You know, and then that's it. That's start with a screaming, you're bleeding. Sorry for anybody who I blew their
That definitely hurt.
That's true, though. Like, if you literally watch Mr. Beast's video, I use him as an example because I think he's the best YouTuber on the platform. If his video is, let me use a random word generator. That's not a good word. That's not a good word.
This is good content right here.
Not a good word. Josh talks about words.
This is the Josh Word segment of the show.
We'll go back to the fireworks video. If the title of the video is, it's like setting off $1 million firework or whatever. When he starts, he's not like, hey guys, it's Mr. Beast here. In today's video, he's like, right behind me is $100,000 firework, and we are going to light it off at the end of this video. Like,
that's exactly how he sounds, too.
That actually was pretty impressive.
I was like, are we going to do it? Let's do it.
Mr. Beast, are you here?
There was what was it? Somebody uploaded a video this week. His name is Zealous. He actually won Mr. Beast's contest. He won 1 million subscribers from Mr. Beast, and he made a video called "Playing Mr. Beast's Song in Space," and the thumbnail was like a piano in space. And that was it. I was like, okay, what's this? And that was one of the best YouTube. You should go watch it. It's called "Playing Mr. Beast's Song," or "I Played Mr. Beast's Song in Space." Fantastic video. It's like 12 minutes long. I watched it twice. Like, I watched it once and enjoyed it so much. I rewatched it just to like analyze it from a YouTube perspective. The intro was great. The story was great. They had moments where things like went wrong and then they fixed it and then something else went wrong. I was on the edge of my seat the entire video.
Wow. My problem though with all those videos is, it's not a problem with the videos. It's a problem with me trying to create a video like that is I don't want to.
and we make yard sale content. Content. So how do you generate that much excitement?
Exactly.
I do have a question for you on this. What do you see the evolution of yard sale videos and thrift store videos being? Are we just going to continue to just do what we do with GoPros and show the action, or will there be more stuff?
Well, I've got a camera crew now. You don't have a camera crew yet.
I'm working on it. Dude.
I'm like Gary V, bro. I got like 7 red epics following me.
In the sports card community, because I'm pretty involved with watching their videos, almost everybody is going to card shows, but nobody is wearing GoPros. Everybody has videographers, all of them. Somebody started that trend, and nobody changed from it. So everybody does have somebody filming them wherever they go. It's really interesting. It's a different perspective. But I'm always curious, what's next?
Professional. I do think that's very professional, but I think it's much more easy to have a videographer at a card show than have a videographer follow you around the flea market or at a yard sale.
Yeah, awkward.
So I think the GoPro is still going to work. I think people are still really enjoying the engagement with strangers, like at flea markets and yard sales. But I do think you'll need to switch over to something more entertaining than just the thrill of the hunt. If you look at like old episodes of Pawn Stars or something, like anytime they find a cool item and then get it like appraised or authenticated or something at the end, that's like the big payoff. So maybe starting the video, if you find something cool, like actually take it to somebody. Like so many people, I've seen so many videos where people find something cool and they're just like, oh yeah, I hope it's real. That's pretty cool. So that's it for today's video. I'm like, you should just take it to a pawn shop or something. Just get them to test it and see it, like have some payoff other than just like your opinion, you know? Yeah. And then you can kind of tease that, like knowing that's going to be a tease. You could like have their say whatever you want. You're like, oh my gosh, that is crazy. Are you serious right now? Say something like that. And then put that clip at the beginning of your video and be like, guys, you're not going to believe what we found at a yard sale today. And then just have like that clip and then get right into the garage sale where you actually find it. And then people have to know, like, why is there so much emotion there? Is that positive or negative emotion? Like, is it real or is it fake? What is the item? You know?
Well, Carrie's been talking about hiring actors to actually, be at the flea market, be at the yard sales.
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin's got a lot of connections to the acting community with his yard sale videos. So I'm like, I think it'd be a good idea. I mean, to be honest, I would love to do a straight, there's so many thoughts I have that I could never do because I'm not
talented
enough.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
or talented. I would love. I'm not even joking. I would love to write a scripted series about this and like actually have people acting it out and stuff. I would love it. I think it'd be really interesting, but you'd have to be supremely talented, which I, might be able to do parts of it, but I couldn't do other parts. So I'd have to have a crew, and I'm far too cheap to have a crew. But like, I think there's a lot of fun things you can do on YouTube. That
you probably could afford a posse.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't afford a crew. Hey, here's a question about the flea market, real quick, Josh. I've been having this issue when I go to my flea market that these guys are starting to recognize me and my content, and they don't seem to like it or me. And, Kevin has this theory it could be because they're, like, evading some taxes and stuff and don't want to be on camera. So are you getting that, too, like, where they all know you have a channel at this point? Or is your flea market so big that that's not happening?
It's not that big. There's probably, like, 40 to 60 vendors out there, and everybody knows who we are.
Really?
But we pay up. We pay more than anybody else, so they don't mind. And that's kind of what we're paying for. People are like, I can't believe you're buying shoes for $30 that sell for $50. I'm like, we're making a little bit of money, and I'm getting YouTube content, and these people aren't getting mad. Like, that's a little bit of what we're paying for.
They get mad at me. Although I do generally paint them in a bad light, but only because they're jerks most of the time. It makes for great content that they're such jerks to me.
We did have this one lady one time. I bought like some golf balls or something from her, like very pleasant. I was like, hey, how much for these? She was like $5, and I bought them. Have a great day, whatever. I don't even think her face was in the video for like more than 2 seconds. And apparently she emailed us and like asked us to take the video down, but I didn't see her email. And so one day I just got on YouTube and there was like, your video received some privacy claim or whatever. I was like, what's a privacy claim? And it was this lady who had like gone through the whole process of contacting eBay and like pointing this video and saying she didn't want her face in there and all this stuff.
She has to prove her identity too to do that. She has to actually prove to YouTube that she's in it to even make that happen.
I saw her again later. I just like had to go back and like cut out like that portion of the video in the editor. But I'm like, why is this such a big deal? And I saw her later and she was almost like apologetic. She's like, I'm sorry about that. You didn't respond, and I can't have my face on there. Like, I got a real job.
She could be in the witness protection program or something.
I guess, but like
possible.
I don't know. Yeah. It's not illegal. Like, you can film anybody you want in public. People ask that all the time. Like, if we ask for permission, I was like, no.
Yeah, in public it's fine. Yeah, it's in any sort of public environment, you're good to go. That's why like people do theme park vlogs and just any vlog in general, the beach, whatever. There's like 100 random people in your shot when you're doing that. So
anywhere there isn't a reasonable
like when I have my GoPro like strapped on my chest, it's not a hidden camera. Like,
no,
if someone
not at all.
In the witness protection program or something, they'll be. If I was in the witness protection and I saw somebody walking around with a GoPro, I'd be like, hey, you can't put my face in there. Like,
exactly. Yeah, you'd see it and you'd be like, yo, I see your GoPro, like, that's cool, but I can't be on the internet. Like, do not put me on the internet. And people have said, like, I had this guy, actually, it was kind of annoying. I met him at an estate sale. He's like, hey, you're the NC picker. I'm like, yeah, how's it going? And he's like walking around, chatting me up. Really kind of a great conversation. It would have been really interesting content, me meeting this stranger and all the things he had to say. He had some good insight into what items were worth money. And then at the end, he's like, hey, make sure you don't put any of this in the video because I don't want to be on your video. And I'm like, well, dude, that's like this whole entire sale you've now wasted for me. All the items I picked up, I can't put them in there because you were yapping the whole entire time. Like, if you don't want to be on the video, tell me first. I'm fine with it. Just tell me first before I record a whole video with you.
That's almost a couple weeks ago. These people invited me to come pick through their attic. They're like, we've got a whole bunch of like toys up there. It's like my aunt's and she doesn't want them, whatever. And you can just come pick and look. And it was like some 70s Star Wars action figures, some vintage Jurassic Park stuff from the 90s with like the JP on the thigh.
Yeah.
I mean, it was thousands of dollars worth of stuff. And they're like, yeah, just pull everything down and we'll like shoot some pictures to my aunt, just make sure she like doesn't want them. And I just left it there, and they called me the next day. Like, yeah, she wants like everything.
What? Like, so wait, you pulled it down from the attic?
I might still post the video.
I would.
It was like such a good, like, it was so hot in the attic. It was like dripping sweat, and we're just, what's in this box? Oh, that's 70s Star Wars. What's in this box? Oh, that's 80s Transformers. Like, crazy stuff, but I couldn't get any of it.
Did they text you getting shit? Oh, so you can actually put screenshots of that in there.
Yeah.
I would do that. That's great. I've got a whole video I edited yesterday, just called Reseller Fails, and it's just like all my terrible buys for the last couple of weeks. I just put them all in one 30-minute video. Like all the money I'm gonna lose. So, okay. We got to end the show. It's late, and Josh is actually way past his bedtime. He turns into a pumpkin at midnight, so we got to stop the show. Thank you, Josh, for coming on. We appreciate it. We didn't miss you at all, Kevin, so come back if you want to, but we don't really care.